God's sovereignty. In order to combat this truth, Satan has put into Christians' minds that we can create our own destiny. We can speak things into existence just like God. This is called the word faith movement. They use a deceptive tactic called verse isolation.
Yep.
This is when you isolate one verse from the rest of what the Bible has to say about that topic.
That's right.
Now, this is something that can be seen very clearly in Mark 11:24. Now, this is one of their favorite go-to verses for those who believe you can just speak into existence anything you want.
Name and claim.
Yep, name and claim it. He says right here in Mark 11:24, therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe you receive them and you will have them. Oh, okay. But if that's the case, I'm about to think about a Lamborghini. I believe I'm going to have a Lamborghini. There's going to be one outside. Is that how that's going to work?
No.
Right. You see, if this was the only verse on this subject, it would be fair to assume if I have enough faith and I pray for $1 million in my pocket, it'll be there. If that was the only verse, but it's not. It's not. 1 John 5:14 tells us right here. When Jesus says, whatever things you ask for, there's some stipulations on that whatever. There's a category of that whatever.
Whatever.
And right here, 1 John 5:14 sets this stipulation. Now this is the confidence that we have in him. Right. That if we ask anything according to his will, he hears it. They want to isolate that verse and take away the stipulation. If you're talking to your kids and you tell them, clean your room and get good grades and I'll be proud of you. But then one day you come home and you say, hey, if your room is clean, I'm going to be proud of you. Does that mean that they can now go get bad grades? No. Right? The stipulation never goes away, even if you don't bring it up every time. That stipulation was made once and it has to be made once. And we understand that. The stipulation that we have to pray according to God's will never goes away, even if he doesn't bring it up every time he brings up prayer. God's will is a stipulation that always stands. Always. Never goes away. God is in control. Amen. And if you don't find comfort in that, then you just don't know the wickedness of men. I'm glad he's in control.
Yes, sir.
We talk about Job all the time. One thing we don't realize when we're reading Job, when Satan comes up into the congregation, guess what? Satan didn't ask for Job. God presented Job to him. To me, that's the most comforting thing in the world, to know that God knows what I'm going through and he's the one that set it into place. If he was not in control, that would be very scary. I'm glad to know that he's in control and that he works all things out for the good.